Manchester United 1, Fulham 2. Absolutely shocking performance from Man United today. Absolutely disgusting performance. In a way, we set ourselves up for the traditional Man United smash and grab, and of course we all would have taken that 90 plus 8th minute winner, which didn't come, but we basically got what we deserve in the end, which was to lose the match really and not have one of the miracle comebacks. Of course we wanted it. It looked like it may have come and we went to sleep at the end there, but listen, there's one thing having injuries. We've had them all season and every other team has had them all seasons, but I just think the tactics and the way the team played, given the injuries that we had, it was just all wrong. If Amari Forson's going to start, why would you play him on the right-hand side and put Rashford up front? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. We don't have enough constants as it is. Everything's chopping and changing, and there's so much inconsistencies in the side because of injuries. Lindelof's got to come into left back. Rasmus Højlund's now popped down. There's no Martinez. The list goes on. I can't bother to go into all of the injuries. But in terms of keeping two of the constants that are available, in terms of Rashford and Garnacho, at least keep them there and say force and play through the middle, or put Scott McTominay through the middle. You may as well have just started Anthony then. And I'm not trying to dig out Forson as an individual, because listen, he's a young kid. He got his Premier League debut today, and you know he was probably buzzing that he would have been in that starting lineup. But if you're going to play him on the right hand side, you may as well just play Ahmad or play Anthony. I didn't understand that. Fulham were just playing like they were at Craven Cottage. Fair play to them. Their tactics were right. I don't want to hear about injuries as well, because they didn't have Willian, they didn't have Paulinho. You know, they didn't have Jimenez, and Munez was quite good as well. So it's all the same for everybody. And the fact that Man United put in that type of performance where people were passing backwards, people were passing sideways, it just looked like the win was never going to come, or the goal, should I say, was never going to come. And it took for Harry Maguire to even get us back into the game. But consistently, we just wasn't doing the right things. Massive holes in the midfield. Harrison Reed was pulling strings in the half spaces. Pereira was getting on the ball. We couldn't really get near to him. Structurally, it just wasn't right. And one thing is having injuries. I completely understand that. But the tactics within that, and to be solid and to be rigid, has to be there. And it just wasn't. It just really wasn't. And we just went from bad to worse at times of the game. We really, really did. And that would have been a classic of what we do this season, which is play poorly for large parts and then nick it. And it's caught up with us. It really has caught up with us. I think Bruno Fernandes today, for large parts, just giving the ball away, nowhere to be seen. Yes, he forced the shot that ends up, leading to a goal for Harry Maguire, but large parts of the game giving the ball away. Casemiro and Kobe couldn't really work in tangent to stop their midfield. That wasn't really happening. Rashford was absolutely non-existent up front. And look, there's two ways of looking at it. You can look at it and say, oh, why is Rashford having a poor game up front, this, that and the other. The proof's in the pudding. We played him up front against Forest, and what happened? He just can't impact the game from there. So that's where I look at it tactically from the manager. I'm like, what was the thinking in playing Rashi through the middle? It wasn't like Fulham were going to play a high line. We weren't trying to get balls in behind and release Rashford. Rashford's not going to be able to battle Bassi and hold the ball up and link people, because that's what Højlund does, and we don't have anyone else who could do that. So as you can see, that was unfolding, that it was wrong. I thought, right, surely Ten Hag's going to switch it back and put Garnacho back on the right and Rashford back out on the left, and even put McTominay through the middle, put Ahmad as a false nine, or just get Rashford out of the centre of the pitch. It just wasn't working. It was the same thing at Nottingham Forest. And Fulham, to be fair to them, they saw our weaknesses and they exploited it. They exploited it. Now, it does feel like, we've gone a few steps forward and confidence was starting to build. And it's a sour one to take. It really, really is, because the level of performance from minute one really up until Harry Maguire scored, it was poor. It was poor. And it leaves you scratching your head as to what the thinking was, even though we had the players out. It just didn't make sense. And this team, people can say that was a result waiting to happen, because even when we are in good moments and we are scoring goals, we're not in control of games. And that's what happens when you're not in control of games for long periods. Eventually someone's going to catch you out. Eventually you're going to become unstuck. And that lack of quality and that lack of the midfield, the lack of technicality inside that area. You can't, Kobe Mainu, he can't do everything. We got this 18-year-old kid and we're asking him to do everything. He looks to the right. He's got Casemiro, who's won 5 Champions Leagues, whatever it is. He can't rely on him. He looks ahead of him. He's got Bruno just giving away balls left, right and centre. He's just a kid. He can't do it all by himself. Garnacho on the left, to be fair to him in the first half, He looked bright. He was forcing some shots on target, winning some corners, forcing the young kid. What can we expect from Amari? Listen, it's a dream for him to get his debut, and I'm proud of him for that as a youngster. But it just wasn't working from quite early. The balance was just all off, and I just don't think Erik ten Hag was proactive enough in trying to change that. And we got what we deserved, which was to lose. Now, even at 1-1 as well, again, someone just foul Traoré, just bring him down. Just foul him. But no, they let him carry the ball. And I know he's quick, but someone could have tripped him up and just taken the foul, taken the yellow card. But we couldn't do it. And again, we just switched off. And for too long in the game, there were people who were too scared on the ball, hiding, not wanting to pass forward, feeling sorry for themselves. We get back in it, then we get a little bit excited, get some shots, and then we switch off again. So, listen, really poor. I think Villa won today as well. And, look, everyone said when Rasmus Højlund got injured, a lot of people were saying, season over, we can't get top 4. I didn't really want to buy into that. I wanted to say, listen, we can maybe find a way, maybe trust some of the players out there. But no Rasmus, no party. There was literally the whole attack just fell to shit because Rasmus wasn't there. We know we've lit Victor Lindelof. He's going to be limited in that area. I don't think we can ask much more from Victor Lindelof as a left back. Do you put Amrabat in there? It's probably not going to be much better, is it, really, if we're being honest? So we're in big trouble there. We go to Forest in the FA Cup on Wednesday, feeling sorry for ourselves after a shit performance like this, not looking good there. And then it's the Manchester derby this time next week. So it ain't looking good. It's about just trying to get through to the end of the season. And for me, top 4, I can't see it. With that injury to Rasmus now and what I've just seen, just forget it. It's about trying to just scrape by game, which is what we've been doing. And I think when you see performances like that, people who do criticise Erik ten Hag for the lack of style, the lack of identity, the lack of sort of looking at us and trying to identify what type of team we're trying to be, always on this counter-attack thing, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at home when you become unstuck like that. It's there for everyone to see in those situations. Now look, when we're scoring goals and we've got our better players playing, our best players playing, then fine, we're going to get out of jail because usually we've just got better individuals than the other team. And today, really, we did as well, actually, really, player for player. But overall, just absolutely awful. And you know what? I just think we got what we deserved, to be honest with you. So I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated, and I think the tactics with what's annoying today is the tactics for what we were left with in terms of the decimated players that are not there. I still think the tactics were wrong within that. It just didn't make sense to me. And fair play to Fulham. There's absolutely turned us over without their 2 best players as well. So that's why you can't moan. They had no Paulinho and no Willian. And Fulham have won 1 game away in the Premier League. And I think that was on the first day of the season. 1. Their away fans weren't even singing for half the game. They were singing How Shit Must You Be? We're winning away. So again, Man United rock up, we'll give you a record. That's just what we do, innit? I'm out of here. Take care, peace.